Hey guys, Zen here, and this week I'm giving you a tier list instead of the top 5 best decks of the week because, well, we don't have too many events that have happened in the past week, and the top 5 decks are pretty consistent to last week. So if you're interested in looking at the top 5 decks of the week in the Dragon Ball Super Fusion World card game, well, check out the video from last week. But for this week, we're tackling tier lists, and we've got 5 tiers, and I'll be placing each leader where I think they currently stand. But first, let's talk about the tiers. We have S tier, which is for strong winners. These are the leaders that are almost always going to be winning events. You'll always see them winning events, quite simply. A tier is for consistent toppers. These are going to be your maybe top 8s, top 4, even top 16 if you will. These are the leaders that you're almost always going to see in a top meta roster. Then we have the B tier, which is kind of different. I'm changing it up, meaning that this is our final tier, where the B tier is a viable leader but has at least one bad matchup, and if you go into it, it's almost unplayable. But other than that, can do really, really well. Then we have the Rogue tier, which consists of extremely fun leaders. However, they are extremely inconsistent. And then we have the Unviable, please send help, because let's be honest, I hope Bandai helps these leaders out in the next set because they really need it. All right, with that out of the way, let's get started with Vegeta. And let's be honest, we're just going to put him here. And while we have Vegeta here, let's also put androids. These aren't going to be the only ones that we're going to have here, but these are the ones that are just strong winners. You're almost always going to see these two winning every single event they're in. Now, if you compare these two to every single leader, do you see what's different about these two? They are the only leaders in the game that effectively become huge swingers without needing to lose too much from any sort of mechanic in the game. For example, Android 17, as long as you have 6 or more energy, it's a 30k swing. And then you have Vegeta here, which I guess you can argue saying that having a hand size of 7 or less is pretty, disadvantageous. However, with cards like Pilaf, you're almost always bringing cards back into your hand. So whereas it does ask you for like 7 cards or less, and you have cards like Pilaf and a bunch in your drop, your hand size is technically somewhere around like 8, 9, or even 10. So, and it becomes a 35k swing. It's a pretty strong leader. And then you throw in things like their entire engines and cards in their decks just synergize so well to help these leaders shine incredibly, is why you're seeing these two do so well. And honestly, I hope some of the other leaders, maybe even new leaders now in the future, get some help. Now, I'm not suggesting that they also become 30k swings or anything, but just more consistent synergy in their deck to help them combat against, bottom decking or the inevitable ramp and swarm strategy of the androids could be, pretty helpful for these other leaders. Moving on, let's go into Top Coup, which used to be S tier. Do you guys remember that set 2 at the beginning? Oh my god, this thing was brutal. And now, honestly, is a rogue deck. It does still pretty well into almost everything except blue, green, a little bit of black. So there are some inconsistencies there. It is still a very fun deck. I like how they brought a couple new players into this archetype, specifically the 3-cost Kaba that brings back your Kefla, is kind of acts like a glimpse but gives you a 10k combo as well as a 20k body on the board. We also got the new hit card that synergizes with the 3-cost time skip, and I personally like putting that in my Top Coup deck list, but it's just not the same as how strong it was at the beginning of set 2. And I know people are going to argue with me here and it might click out, but honestly I hope Top Coup gets some sort of buffs in the future. It was a very fun first of its kind with the leader awakening at 3 life or less leader in the game, and it sucks that they nerfed him so bad and they kept things like Vegeta with peel-off engine, but I digress. Moving on, we have GT Goku. And this one, it's one of 2 black leaders in the game, the only 2 black leaders in the game, and they don't have too many cards in their whole archetype and set. But they're doing pretty good. Honestly, I'm gonna say consistent toppers. They don't really have any bad matchups, but they can lose to things like, bottom decking or androids and stuff like that. So I'm gonna keep them in the A tier. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. And since we did this, let's also bring Bardock up here. I am gonna put Bardock before GT Goku. Even though they're going to run almost the exact same deck list, Bardock is just better in my opinion because one, when he swings, he's a 25k body, and two, he helps you search and like kind of scry through your deck. Look at the top card, you can combo with it. You don't like it, put it on the bottom of your deck. And now you're not wasting a turn drawing into that card, and you can draw into potential cards that will actually help you in the game. So I think Bardock, just for that, is a little bit better than GT Goku, but both of them are definitely consistent toppers in events and even on the ladder. All right, let's move on to Trunks, and you're gonna see a theme here. I think I'm gonna put all blue leaders in consistent toppers. I might change this, but let's do that right now. We got 2 here, 3 here, and there we go. Okay, so with this right here, Trunks is definitely after. His ability to bounce a 3 cost is pretty good, but I mean, unless you're using things like mine to bounce like a 4 cost, it's not that strong. For Goku Black, I'm also going to keep him over here. It's a consistent topper. I kind of want to maybe put him in Rogue, to be honest, right? Because like it's fun but inconsistent, but when it works, it works. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to keep him. He's not like, he doesn't have a bad matchup per se. The issue with Goku Black is when it works really well. When it doesn't work, it doesn't work at all. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do we put this in Rogue tier or do we keep it up here? I think for the fact that it's like not super consistent all the time, I'm going to keep it here at the start. I think, yeah, that makes the most sense. Now moving on to Zamasu Fused. I'm sorry, guys. I'm moving this all the way up here. Consistent topper. Every time I see Zamasu in the top 16, it's like top 8, if not top 4. It does really well. And the Deadku, the brand new, what is it, Angel Ku, Halo Ku, whatever you want to call him, I'm going to put this in strong winners. This is where you guys might disagree with me. It really comes down to the pilot. If the person playing Deadku is a, good pilot and they know how to pilot this deck, they're winning events. It doesn't matter if they're going into things like other Vegetas, even androids, to be honest. Throw in a couple Zenos, you're wiping the whole board. Yeah, I think Angel Ku is probably the strongest leader from that 3 currently. Definitely stronger than Jiren because it counters it so well. But yeah, so far this is our tier list. You guys might disagree with a couple of these, but I really feel like right up here. I guess you can make the argument that it is a consistent topper because we're not seeing this as a winner all the time. And I guess if we're looking at factually the number of winners in events, it is always Vegeta, androids, Vegeta, androids. This is like, I think there was only 1 or 2 where it was Deadku, and that's pretty much it. And then 1 was like a Beerus. But everything else is just consistently. I'm talking like the official events, I'm talking the side events, I'm talking the creator events. So yeah, I guess we'll put it in consistent toppers all the way out the front. I don't think anything is gonna get in front of this. I could be wrong. We'll see. Let's move on to Ginyu. Ginyu. It's fun, super inconsistent, but unfortunately super unviable as well. Same with Cooler. Cooler is so fun and inconsistent, but just unviable right now. I think Yellow is just struggling. It's not doing well into the current meta, and it sucks. There is one yellow leader that's doing pretty well, but just these two just aren't not doing pretty well. Then we have Cell. I guess this could be our first B tier. It's honestly so good, unless you're going into yellow. However, since not a lot of people are playing yellow, Cell's kind of thriving, right? So I wouldn't say a consistent topper, but definitely very viable. You can use it, and only has 1 at least bad matchup. And now here is Vegeta, who honestly, if you're a good Vegeta player, I'm talking yellow Vegeta, right? You're gonna consistently top as well. And I'm gonna put you right here, right in the middle before Bardock, to be honest. And I feel super comfortable with that. Moving on to Jiren, goes into B tier because literally fits that definition right there. It's extremely viable. A lot of people say it's strong, but it does have 1 bad matchup. Literally any blue leader, because then you just Sinister Sickle or anything like that and bottom deck their Jirens or their top cards. Other than that, they need to do something about bottom decking, because look at this. This is ridiculous. 1, 2, 3, 4 blue leaders, and then this one is really fun but just super inconsistent. 5. Yeah, you need to do something about bottom decking. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree. But yeah, moving on to Piccolo. I had so much high hopes for this leader with its ability, with the new cards in its set. I was like, yo, Piccolo is about to be that leader. He's about to be insane. He's going to be ramp king. And unfortunately, he just fell flat. That is not the case. In fact, I'm going to put him behind Cooler and Ginyu. These are better than Piccolo because Piccolo just requires you to take so much effort. 8 energy, and then you can swing twice maybe. Yeah, okay. Ramping is just not. They need better cards in the Piccolo deck list. Something that says like, if your leader's Piccolo, you ramp 2 cards this turn or something like that. Something insane, because 8 energy is just, it's not it, Chief. It's not working. All right, next up is Majin Buu, my favorite leader from set 3. Super fun, but also super inconsistent, right? You could argue the brand new Barrier 3 drop Majin Buu is a great card, but like, it's a great card in the yellow Vegeta deck list. It's not doing anything really for this guy over here. Next up is Broly, and I'd say it has one bad matchup. Doesn't do well into anything, right? It's either gonna, I'll keep it in B tier. B tier because it's a 25k leader. Swings pretty strong. Has one bad matchup being yellow, but does honestly pretty decently into everything else. Also, I guess you could argue that, you know, critical leaders are a bad matchup for this guy. Yeah, I guess we'll put him right there. We'll keep him there. All right, next up is Frieza. Frieza, another rogue deck list. I'm gonna put this one, I'm gonna put it right behind Goku Black. Fun, super inconsistent. I don't know how this could happen. I never saw this happening. Set 1, set 2, Frieza dominated. You would always see Frieza topping, if not winning events. It's insane, really. One of the best end of turn abilities in the entire game. And then with these new cards and not even new cards and leaders, because it's still like Vegeta and androids, but everything else, I guess it's the bottom decking potential now just being out the board. It's insane. Dropped Frieza all the way down. It's unfortunate, really. Another really fun but inconsistent leader would be a Universe 7 Goku. I guess this Goku as well. I'll put him here. All 3 of these Gokus are going to be in the rogue but fun and inconsistent tier. And the only Goku is going to be the dead one that's up here in the consistent toppers. But honestly, I'm not too upset with that. I think we have enough Gokus in the game, and it would be a little too much if all of them were, you know, somewhere up here. I guess, yeah, we have 2 Gokus up here. I forgot the GT-Gu. All right, next up is Gohan. I'm going to put him right after Cell. I guess you can argue after Jiren too, right? Yeah, we'll do this. Maybe even put Jiren all the way up here. That way we have 3 of the green leaders, mainly because it just does not do good into yellow, right? It's kind of completely stomped by yellow, but it can use its 3-drop Goku to, like, I guess, get rid of the SR Vegeta in yellow. That kind of hinders it, so there is that. And if you are running that, then I guess you could argue that it is a consistent topper all the way in the bottom of A, but just for the sake of things, again, I'll put it right over here. And to me, that makes the most sense, bringing us to Beerus. And I'm gonna put Beerus somewhere. I'm basing it off of like a really good Beerus pilot right here, right after Deku. Beerus is probably one of the best leaders. Now, if we're looking at the top 4 leaders in the meta, I personally think it has to be starter deck Vegeta, androids, Deku, and Beerus. Hands down. But yeah, there you guys have it. This is my opinion on a tier list for the current meta of the Dragon Ball Super Fusion World. Let me know in the comments if you agree, which ones you disagree with. I'm sorry if I put your favorite leader a bit too low or a bit too high. You let me know in the comments. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.